Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll try to be brief. This has been such a spectacular and special afternoon. I was unprepared for how emotional this would be, and you've just been an unbelievable audience. It's impossible to thank everybody in the way that I want to, which is just a single-handed to go and down, and I don't know, it would take too long. So first, I want to thank this cast. I want to thank this extraordinary cast. They're unbelievable. They're unbelievable. I want to thank these musicians. I want to thank the Richard Rogers, which is the most beautiful place to be. The Leader Member Organization, Tim and his entire crew. You've been so wonderful to all of us. This has been a home for us, and I really hope to be back here. We just want to thank all of our designers, everybody who worked on this show, and made it look and feel the way that it does. I want to thank Judy and our entire stage management crew. We got this show flawlessly night after night, day after day.
Yorkey!
I want to thank my wife who's here. And I just want to thank all of you, the fans of the show who support us. So many of you have come to Brian and I and thanked us for the show, and we just want to thank you. Thank you for telling us all of our. We're done. This is a we're a team. I'm gonna turn this over in a second, Brian. But you guys have been so extraordinary to us, telling us your personal stories about how this has affected you. That's affected us. It's made us better writers and better people. And lastly, before I hand it over, I just want to thank Brian Yorkey because back in like 1998, Brian said to me, "How about a show about a woman who's suffering from severe depression?" And I said, "Okay." And this one was my turn, and Brian went with me on this one, and I want to thank him. I love him very dearly.
So I'm going to start with thanking Tom Kitt. Without whom I would be an obscure poet somewhere in Oregon. And who said to me a few years ago, "How about a show about the choices we make in life and the things that they affect that we know they'll affect and the things they affect that we don't know?" And I said, "Okay." And here we are today. Tom and I wanted to say just a word about courage. It takes tremendous courage to make any musical happen. It's much easier.
Yeah!
I hear you, but I can't see you. How do you guys do this? This is stunningly hard. It's a lot easier to go with something tried and true and much harder to take a plunge on something that starts with an idea, with no idea what it might end up being. This is the second time we've had the great fortune to do that on the greatest stage in the world, Broadway, and we wouldn't be here today without many, many people who, again, we wish we could take all afternoon to thank in person, but hopefully we'll see you later, and we will. But I wanted to point out the courage of a few people in particular. And the first is the courage of a woman who could have done any show she wanted to, could have had a pick of any show, any revival. Oh, here I go. And instead, when we went to her and said, "Well, we're kind of thinking about a show about a woman who comes back to New York and the choices she makes and the things that happen to her," said, "Okay." And then proceeded to put the show on her back for years and carry it forward and make it happen and make it one of the most beautiful things. Thank you for your time. now completely forgotten anything else I was going to say. A second person I want to thank is a man who twice now has hopped on board, this time when there was literally nothing more than an idea, and said, yes, I will direct that show. I will shepherd you in its writing for years and years. I will never lose patience. I will never doubt you. I will never stop believing that this show can become something beautiful, and I will put it up on stage and make it beautiful. Michael Greif, thank you. We love her too. And I have to, the third person whose courage is uppermost and tantamount and all those other words that are going out of my mind because Dina Menzel just gets me. The man who twice now has taken two somewhat neurotic and slightly difficult writers and said, I like your talent, I like your moxie, kid, I like your ideas, and I will make your show happen on Broadway. A man who made this show happen for a glorious year, a man who's sending us out on tour, a man who has never stopped believing in us. David Stone, thank you for your show. And just to wrap this up, David Stone and his team, Jimmy Niederlander, Babs Whitman, aka Barbara Whitman, Patrick Catullo, Nancy Gibbs, Kristen Caskey, Mike Isaacson, and Mark Platt had the courage to make this show happen, along with, I'm sure, many of you who are in this house tonight who said, yes, I will put my money where my mouth is, and I will make this untried, uncertain new musical a reality. Thank you all. I know I can say that without any doubt, each and every one of us in this building loves the American musical as an art form. We love everything it is and everything it is, and most of all, we love everything it has yet to be. And you and I may disagree on which new shows move the art forward, but we all have to agree that without new shows, we will never move the art forward. Those investors and everyone, thank you to the fans, thank you to our fans who have gone out and said, go see the show, because your courage of standing up for us has made it possible for us to be here today. And the last thing I'll say before I cue the exit music is a number of years ago on a stage a block south, David Stone said that you should all be so lucky to have a Tom Kitt and a Brian York in your life. And we would just like to say that you should all, especially you writers, should all be so lucky as to have a David Stone in your life. Thank you all.
Gabrielle!